So, I finally finished Cyberpunk. I got the game on release day, and according to Steam I've clocked 200 plus hours of gameplay. So I thought to myself, why not make a review and give my honest thoughts on the game? Whether I was running through the stoplights, up in a penthouse, or stealing from some rich guy, I couldn't help but think of how amazing the game looks. I climbed on everything and went to every rooftop just to get a panoramic view of the sea. The developers at CD Projekt Red really went all out on the set pieces. Every decal, every poster, the sheen on the cars, even the reflections on the pavement showed how much time and effort they put into making the city feel like a real place. Set in the dystopian city of dreams, you play as V, an underdog looking to make a name for himself, and after a failed heist, you're stuck with a biochip and a time limit to take down the evil Arasaka Corporation.
No spoilers.
The main story was a thrill ride, but the moments are fast. There are parts in the game where they tell you to get more eddies, or money, before you can pass here or meet a certain NPC to continue. But by the way the game is set up, you can complete the main story in about 30 hours. But between the main story beats, there are so many side jobs, gigs, and undiscovered locations that you could double or triple your time spent in the game.
Been on a while. Time for a break.
It's a shame though, I wish the story was longer because it had some great moments. Like gunning down corpos with Johnny Silverhands.
Live well.
Cutting crooked deals with the Maelstrom gang.
So you're gonna consider my offer now?
And everything that is Goro Takamura. He's supposed to be the most serious guy in the game, but honestly, I laughed every time he was on screen.
Wow, you look like a million eddies.
Is that so? That is not how I feel. I ate what you call a scat food.
Uh-huh. And what'd you think, tasty?
Ask the people below.
And V has some really great interpersonal moments with other characters.
You wanna read my tarot?
And I can see why they decided to make the game in first person.
And what you expect in the future.
Sitting at a dining table with Jackie, or getting a lift back home while getting a great view of Night Sea is what made the game feel immersive.
Chariot. You're ready for change. Ready to...
And the side quests were well written,
Thank you.
and managed to carry the weight in times when I wasn't forwarding the main plot.
Good to see you, V. Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us. I'm all ears.
Yo, V, check it.
Characters in this game magically get your number and call you out of the blue, offering gigs to make money or opening up side missions with key characters. I love this because walking up to an NPC, travelling halfway across the map and back again just to collect some lame reward is played out.
Scan the brief if you need more info.
They also had this thing called Brain Dance. Going through people's memories and solving crimes was a nice touch.
Slow your roll.
River Ward, NCPD.
And the music, the soundtrack in this game is amazing. No matter where you are, there's some heavy track blasting out of someone's speaker. They even give you the official soundtrack and the original Cyberpunk role-playing game. How does it all play out? Well, let's talk about the cars. Night Sea is huge and you need a ride to get from place to place. The cars in this game look amazing. They even detailed the interiors and gave each vehicle unique animations for the hood and the trunk where you keep your stash. They promised extensive customization, racing, and all these different features surrounding vehicles. But really, it was more like this. The problem is, handling on vehicles is bunk. Cars fly all over the place, and the only way to fix this in game is to go into the settings and turn down your third person look sensitivity. This would allow you to turn your car, but it's still weird. I honestly tried to drive in this game, but it feels like all the roads are covered in ice and your wheels are made of marbles. And right out the box, the aiming sensitivity in this game was janky as f***. I don't know whose idea it was to make the dead zone that small, have so much toning bonus, and such low sensitivity as the default setting. I spent so much time in the settings, just trying to make aiming feel natural while using a controller. Granted, the developers at CD Projekt Red have never experienced creating a first-person shooter before, I get it. But with all the time they had to create the game, you would think they could have smoothed this part out. The same goes for hand-to-hand combat and blades. I never felt like using them because of how awkward the movement mechanics were. Whose idea was it to bind the dodge mechanic with the crouch button? Monowire, mantis blades, clubs, knives, bats, all of them in my opinion were useless and not fun to play with. But the guns, oh the guns, I had plenty of those to mess around with. The game sort of plays out like a looter shooter, where you find hundreds of guns and have to decide on whether to dismantle, keep, or sell items. Once you find the right gear, you'll just end up selling everything you find. There were a lot of options for cyberware as well, but they were pretty limited in making significant changes to your character. There were also plenty of opportunities to sneak missions. And if successful, you could claim better rewards or change the outcome of certain events. I just wanted to make my V a lean, mean, gunsmithing killing machine, bursting through doors and blowing people away in a hail of bullets. Through the prologue I felt pretty weak, but after that I pumped so many skill points into crafting that I became a lot stronger really quickly. Once I started buffing iconic weapons and legendaries, the game became easy. Even one of my friends said to me, "What's up with the enemies in this game?" and told me she was changing the difficulty from hard to ultra hard. It's not that the AI is terrible. They duck, retreat behind cover, advance on your position, aim for the head, block attacks, and hack your cyberware. You're just so overpowered.
Watch out! Here I come!
They also mentioned something about multiplayer in the future. But I don't know how they're going to achieve this, because right now, in its current state, the game is completely unbalanced. But honestly, the combat in this game is fun. I enjoyed every minute of it. John Wicking it through some industrial warehouse as a cybernetic one-man army never got old. I just wish there were more bosses that were as overpowered as I was, and more enemies that could rival my cybernetic implants. I'm used to playing first-person shoots, so I love this part of the game, but some of the weapons don't even work properly. Like this pistol. It's only supposed to charge one shot, but it just unloads the whole clip for some reason. And there were so many other glitches that ruined my immersion. The game is full of bugs. Textures don't load properly, no animation for the lips, getting spawned in the sky or below the map, and worst of all, crashes. Not just normal crashes, but the game-breaking blue screen of death that wiped out my laptop several times and bugged my audio, which I had to troubleshoot. I'd love to say that this is one of my favourite games, but it's not even finished yet. Cyberpunk 2077 in a nutshell is basically a highly unstable early access game that's sold at full price. CD Projekt Red put out an apology video stating that they are committed to fixing the game and released a roadmap of roughly when they're going to do it. I have no doubt that they're going to fix this in the upcoming months, but it really wasn't ready to go out into the public, and because of this it ruins so many people's experience. But even with all the bugs, I did get to experience the whole thing, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, that's it from me. What did you think of Cyberpunk 2077? Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.